ನಾನು ಯಾಕೆ ಬಿಸಾಕೋದು ಅಲ್ಲ ನಾ ಬಿಸಾಕಿಲ್ಲ ಈ ತರ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ
ಇಲ್ಲ
ಹೇಳಿ
ಇಲ್ಲ
ನಾನು
ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ
ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರ ಕೆಲಸನ ಕೀಳಾಗ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
ನಾ ಕೀಳಾಗ ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ನೀವು ಈ ತರ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್
ಅದು ಕಾಂಡೆಸೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಏನೇ ಇದೆ.
ಸರಿ ಸರ್ 8 years ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಬುಲ್ಶಿಟ್ ಅಂತ. So this was one thing I actually had to screw and then ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಫಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. So now I can save enough space. Yeah, thanks to your monitor, right?
That basically is system 76. One of the hey ಅದು ಏನು ಅದು
ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಸೀರೆ ಕೊಡು ಮದುವೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅದೇನೋ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಂಗೆ ಆಗೋಯ್ತು. ಅವ್ರ ಬೈಕ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಅದು ಇದರಿಂದನೇ ತಾನೆ, ಯಾವುದು ತುಂಬಾ ನೋಡಬೇಡಿ.
If you gift a saree to a girl, you will get married. This is to all the single frustrated guys out there. If you feel you're too alone, get a saree, gift it to a girl, you'll get married.
Hence proud.
No, find something. Nikhil.
Yeah.
Hey, or make Nikhil stand over here.
Yeah.
Nikhil will cover the whole space.
Way better. Screen ilunde.
Screen. See, they are going to cut the wall there, so we are trying to cover it over here as much as possible to avoid any kind of dust coming inside the working space. So adike ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ತದೆ ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾನೇ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ನಾನು. ಆರು ತಿಂಗಳ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊ ಬರ ಅವ್ನು 6 ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿತಾನ ನಿಖಿಲ್.
So I'll have to give you a little bit of background to understand why we were laughing so much. Before all these things happened, there was this particular fight that was happening, if you saw before the intro. And this fight was between the photographer who was in charge of all the media of the photography of events of Bharat's wedding. So he was over here in the office to showcase all the photos that he had taken and what kind of album that we could possibly expect. And Bharat was very disappointed with the photographer's work. And it did seem like the photographer was quite amateurish and there were a lot of things missing and he did not have a proper contract in place. It was just nuts. There are two takeaways from this. For one, the onus is on us to make sure that our customer understands what exactly the contract entails. So you're paying me X amount and I'm going to give you ABC services. So that has to be very clearly made. Here there was this huge confusion. There was no proper professional contract that was done and Bharat had no idea what he was going to expect. Because of that, there was this ruckus happening. And the second thing that I keep noticing, this is a lot more deeper issue. I mean, I can talk about this for quite some time as well, but let me just make it quick. I think you might have noticed this, where a lot of people, especially elderly people, while having a conversation, a possible argument, they say things like, hey, how much experienced I am, how much experience I've had, what I have done, all this stuff, right? Especially when they see that their argument is failing. My point is, did not talk about your experience. Let your experience talk. Just because I'm younger doesn't mean that you can just keep boasting about your experience, especially when your current work is below average. Not only that, it's like so amateurish. You cannot just say that I'm working for XYZ companies. That just goes on to prove that after having so much of experience, I still am shitty at my job, or I still am shitty at the way I handled my life. So, just don't do that. Just because somebody's younger doesn't mean that you have to boast about your experiences that you have had. You don't have to do that. Your experience needs to talk, not the other way around. So that is a deeper point, right? And now that you have pretty good context of what I'm talking about, I'll tell you as to why we were all laughing. That's because mom also came downstairs, especially because the gas guy was over here and okay, that came out wrong. The person who delivers the cooking gas was here and he was just fitting up things, and then there was a chimney guy who was drilling holes in the wall. And mom was just there and was looking at some of Bharat's weddings media files. And then I was like, Bharat is just as good as the amateur photograph. What mom doesn't know is that Bharat actually is a photographer and he does good photography. She wasn't aware of this. And she just went on to say that it's okay, he will learn. Oh, he's just as good as this photographer. She actually thought that it was a compliment for him. And she started saying that, oh, he's as good as this photographer. And then we started laughing and she started wondering as to why we were laughing. And she then went on to say that, don't worry, Bharat is going to learn how to hold a camera in next 6 months. The funniest part is my mom wasn't even mocking him. She actually meant it. She genuinely meant that Bharat is going to learn it and he's going to become a good photographer in coming 6 months, that too. So that is why, we all cracked up, and because, we keep pulling Bharat's leg every now and then. And now the time is, what's the time? I don't have my mobile on me. So the time right now is 2:16 a.m. It's quite late, I know. I should have been asleep 16 minutes earlier, but I still am not. There's a reason for that. I made a self-commitment to vlog on Monday, Tuesday, as well as on Thursday, Friday. And I really want to keep up with it. I don't want to miss out on that. And the only time that I can possibly miss out is when I decide that I'm going to take a break. But if I'm not able to do something and then I just take that as a reason to get away from it, then that's not acceptable. That's not something that I would ever want to do. I always want to make sure that if I'm committed, I'm keeping up with that. So, even if the video is not necessarily as entertaining, I just want to make sure that I'm posting something in the morning. And that is this effort. So, I do have something to share. On Tuesdays, we do more like what the fuck Tuesdays, something that's totally different, something that's not really expected of, something weird or about news, right? So there are few websites that is very interesting but also kind of weird that people might really enjoy. So I think I'm gonna show you that. And mom is here busy looking at some highly professional photographs.
Professional.
It is 3:30 in the morning, so I'm pretty tired and I have a little bit of headache. So I'm gonna sleep now. I'm gonna give the video to export and then do the upload in the morning. Cheerios.